The Construction Association of Michigan, CAM, has been helping commercial and industrial contractors and suppliers grow since 1885. Now's the time to join. Visit buildwithcam.com. If you're a construction company looking to grow, CAM offers resources to help you build your staff, find more projects, and expand your network. Join today. The Construction Association of Michigan. They're one industry, one resource, one CAM. Join today at buildwithcam.com.
Today's episode of CAM's Building Michigan podcast is sponsored by Priority Health, endorsed health insurance carrier for CAM members.
So right now, we've all been feeling lots of shifts in our lives. We've gone from crazy busy schedules to way more time with our loved ones, from commuting to the office to working from our couches. And that's okay, because Priority Health is always ready to shift right there with you. So whether you're experiencing a shift in employment or you're prepping for a new member of the family to arrive, Priority Health has you covered. Priorities shift, so maybe it's time your health insurance company did too. Find your plan at PriorityHealth.com.
It's that time of year. Time to review your workers' compensation plan and shift to coverage that pays you back. CAMCOMP, part of the Construction Association of Michigan, is the state's leading self-insured group designed for the construction industry. The safer your employees, the more money you get back. The average payback to members is 45% of their premium, a very smart investment. Find out how safety pays with CAMCOMP. Call Juan Ramirez at 586-790-7810 or go to www.camcomp.net.
Hello, and welcome to our 10th episode of the Building Michigan podcast, produced for Michigan's construction industry by the Construction Association of Michigan, CAM. My name is Kevin Koehler. I'm the president of CAM and your host for Building Michigan. Our podcast is designed for the construction industry here in the Great Lakes State. Each 25 to 30-minute episode will feature conversations on industry topics, including a variety of conversations with industry leaders discussing construction projects, trends, business development, other industry-related topics. So let's get into it. This is Season 2, Episode 10, our first episode after our summer break. We are super excited to have with us today two top construction industry professionals to discuss the ACE Mentor Program, a program that introduces high school students to the full process of designing and building a project and to the entire spectrum of design and construction industry careers. Founded in 1994, the ACE Mentor Program of America is a free, award-winning after-school program designed to attract high school students into pursuing careers in architecture, construction, and the engineering industry. It also attracts children into the skilled trades. So please allow me to introduce our guests, Vincent DeLeonardis, past chair and current nominating committee member for the ACE Mentor Southeast Michigan, and Jeffrey Chandler, current chair of the ACE Mentor Committee. You may also recognize these guys by their day jobs. Vince is the CEO of the George AUCH Company, which is located in Pontiac, Michigan. AUCH has provided general contracting and construction management services to the commercial and industrial construction clients in southeastern Michigan since 1908. Vince has over 40 years working in the construction industry since graduating from Penn State University with a Bachelor of Science degree in civil engineering. He has served as the past chairman of the Associated General Contractors of Michigan and remains active with the Skilled Trade Relations programs, the Oakland County Community College Foundation Board, the Pontiac Talent Development Coalition, and ACE Mentor of Southeast Michigan, which we're here to talk about today. Vince believes strongly in the importance of ACE Mentor program for its power to create opportunities for others through education, training, and the development of relationships. And also joining us today is Jeffrey Chandler, president of VTC Insurance Group and the current vice chair of the Construction Association of Michigan. Jeff joined VTC in 2003 following his tenure with a national surety firm, The Hartford, where he held positions both in Connecticut and Washington, D.C. He was responsible for domestic and international contractors with work programs in excess of $200 million. Those are some big boys. The combination of an organizational management degree from the University of Michigan, go blue, with a focus on accounting and a broad background as an underwriter equips Jeff to maximize a contractor's surety terms and conditions while developing long-term relationships with a variety of surety carriers. VTC's credo is that they recognize that insurance and bonds are expensive, so their priority is to positively impact a customer's bottom line with financial results. Jeff is also an associate in fidelity and surety bonding. Jeff, Vince, welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, Kevin. Thank you very much for having us. Couldn't be more proud to be here, and we really appreciate CAM, everything you do for our industry, and particularly allowing us to come in and talk about ACE and talking about the future of construction, and also proud to be here with Jeff.
Thanks for having us, Kevin. Appreciate you highlighting this important organization, important for the local community and the industry.
You know, it really is a fantastic organization. As I read about it and got a little more involved with what it is, what you guys do, I really thought it was worth getting the word out to the membership. I think it's an admirable program. Vince, tell us a little bit how, for those of us who aren't really familiar with the ACE Mentor program, give us an idea of what the program is, how it operates, how large it is.
Okay, I guess first the program itself is really set up to take a high school student through a construction project, soup to nuts, from its inception through its planning, the design, and construction, and all the various aspects that take place through it. So by the time they're done with the program, they have a good understanding of the process. And there's things for us to talk about, but one of the things we see, no matter whether a high school student ultimately pursues an education and career in architecture, construction, or engineering, they have an understanding of our industry and helps, say, whether they're going to be on a school board or just a citizen, that they really do understand the construction process.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuances and a lot of education. I mean, it's like real life, right? You've got buildings are built, your house is built, so it allows these children to get a really good working knowledge of architecture and engineering and construction. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yep, and then with our industry, relationships. So early on now, they're being taught form relationships with their partners and then with the mentors. So the program itself, as you had indicated earlier, was founded in 1994 in New York City by a structural engineer, Charles Thornton, who saw a need in the community to reach out and create opportunities for high school students to investigate careers, say in architecture, construction, and engineering. And so that was the model, to reach out to perhaps areas that are underserved, underrepresented in our industry. And we can see the success of it, because right now we see over 27% of ACE students who are going to go on to college, that they are the first generation, say, college attendees.
Really? That's very interesting. Jeff, anything to add to the overall program?
Yeah, this program is first and foremost about the students and the students that we're trying to help, but I think it's also it'd be a disservice not to give a little bit of light to the mentors and the volunteers that make it work. It's been humbling and eye-opening to see the amount of commitment that people are willing to put in and the amount of time they're willing to dedicate. These mentors take hours out of their weeks, and look, there's a long-term payoff for our industry as a construction industry. There's a long-term payoff for the architectural and engineering industry as well. But people that are willing to devote their time for a payoff that's down the road is just really humbling to see. And the commitment that these people put in is there's not enough thanks in the world that can go out to them. And it's just been fantastic to see them build relationships with kids, build relationships with their peers, and devote time to a really meaningful organization and organization.
So as I understand, it's a national program. I think it's in 30 some odd states. There's 70 some chapters of the ACE Mentor program. I guess Southeastern Michigan is one of those.
Yes.
And then the program itself, the curriculum for the student, I understand it to be 15 weeks. Is that correct? And then when does it take place, or is it continuously running? How does that work?
So we're running one program per school year.
Okay.
The program itself runs.
It's after school, right?
It is after school,
Okay.
yes. So it's run over the course of 18 weeks. So we work hard to accommodate the schedule of the school districts, so for their built-in breaks. We typically have 2 sessions a week. One session is going to focus on an industry expert coming in and giving their insight into the program. So one week it might be electrical engineering, one week it might be landscape design, one week it might be plan reading. And then the second session of the week is where the students actually collaborate with each other and with their mentors with the end goal of coming out with a project to present to a board at the end.
Great.
So these groups are broken up typically to 5 students, and then they're supported by 3 mentors.
Oh,
which
wow.
is
That's
quite
good ratio.
It is. It's higher than the national average.
Mm-hmm.
However, what it also does is provides flexibility for these mentors that if they're going to be off a night, that you two still have 2 mentors supporting the group. And it's amazing the relationships that are formed with the students and the mentors. That we had a mentor, say, working for our firm, and someone had shared with us that that mentor had to take care of some family business, wasn't there, and the students are, where's Eva?
Oh,
So,
wow. Yeah.
so they form these strong, tight bonds. Yeah.
Relationships.
Yes.
That's what our industry is built on, is relationships, right? So it's perfect to introduce them to that early. Just out of curiosity, and Tim, you may have some questions, you can jump in anytime, but what school districts are you guys involved in here in Southeast Michigan? Is there a specific ones, or is it whoever wants to do it?
One of the great features of this program is it allows students to come together across districts.
Okay.
And, we intentionally, our program coordinator, Jasmine Sisson, who is a tireless volunteer, works hard to get kids working across districts. So it's a great exposure for kids from different areas to interact with different students. So in the past and in this year upcoming, we expect participation from Berkeley, Avondale, Pontiac, Detroit, Huron Valley, Novi, Birmingham, Bloomfield Hills, Farmington, Plymouth, Royal Oak, Ferndale, Hazel Park, Milford, Lake Orion, Oxford, Rochester, Troy, Walled Lake, and Southfield.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, that's a diverse.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear your district mentioned, make sure you get a hold of Ace Mentor, and we'll make sure we get you involved.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. So how did you guys get involved in this? Jeff, let's start with you on that. How did you get involved with the whole ACE program?
So about 4 years ago, I was at a dinner with your other distinguished guest here today, Vince, and his team. And one of our dinner conversations, like it was then and is now, revolved around labor and participation in our industry. And Vince is committed to making the construction industry and the trades a better place to work and a place that people want to come to. And I've personally invested in the industry. So when we started talking about the shortage of labor, the shortage of talent, the shortage of young people excited and wanting to get involved in this business, the shortage of young people that wanted to backfill some of these folks that are retiring, it became a real easy sell. And Vince looked at me and said, remember that when I talk to you after dinner. And he did, and he laid out the program parameters and his vision for the reboot of the ACE Mentor Southeast Michigan chapter. And it was just a no-brainer to get involved. It's a fabulous organization, and Vince built a great support network of people that have helped grow this, and it's been a very rewarding experience for me too.
That's awesome. So Vince, that I guess that leads to you. How did you get involved? And it sounds like you may have been involved early on, and then for one reason or another, things changed, and then you got re-involved, and really got this thing up and running, making it a very successful chapter.
Oh, yeah, back in 2005, I picked up the phone, and John Sire of Kitch, who I knew in the industry, had given me a call, talked about ACE mentoring, and asked if I wanted to get involved. And at that point, it was getting involved on a board position, but then also immediately becoming a mentor in the Pontiac area schools. So with that,
which is where your office is, so it's perfect.
It was, and then it was also great that several people from our office also got involved, so you had that camaraderie. Mm-hmm. And then also involved, say, other industry professionals that we knew. So it was a great opportunity to be sitting on that board, meeting representatives of labor, and then also other, say, industry partners. So once again, it carries on that relationship.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and we all know it's so hard to attract. I mean, that's a major problem right now is our workforce shortage, right? It's been for several years now and continues to worsen. And so everyone's looking for ways to get our youth more involved in in the building trades, in construction in general, engineering, architecture, and this is a great avenue and resource to allow that to happen.
Yeah, one of the things that we see, also is, we're focusing on students that are looking to go on to college, okay, and whether it's a 2-year or 4-year degree, but it's not limiting. And what we do is expose the students also to the skilled trades from an aspect of allowing them to have respect of those men and women that build our jobs. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome to see. And then also, too, the possibility that they themselves may be interested.
Sure.
So it's a good chance
do you
for them to
introduce them to some of the apprenticeship programs in town or around, or is that part of the discussion?
It is. We'll often bring in a superintendent. They'll talk about, say, them coming up through the trades.
Perfect.
And then we have also provided informational boards and pamphlets that shows each of the trades, what the apprenticeships programs represent, and it's very eye-opening, these students, because we also do call that the other 4-year degree.
Yeah, exactly.
It's eye-opening to the parents, too. We typically try to involve the parents in the first session and to look to the average citizen who maybe their main exposure to construction is driving down the road and seeing somebody, a flagman. We are surprised by the parents' perception of this industry, and the reality is it's a fantastic industry with so many diverse career paths and so many opportunities. And we try to open up the eyes, not only of the students, but also the parents, to the professional tracks within the industry, to the tracks that don't involve a college degree, to the tracks that do, and really just the infinite number of possibilities that a student could have if they're interested in architecture, construction, or engineering.
That kind of leads me to my next question, and the question is, I understand that about 10,000 students participate annually throughout the country. How does the program attract students, and then what's our participation level here in Southeast Michigan?
Sure. So we work hard to recruit the kids through the school districts primarily. So we're trying to reach out to superintendents, district administrators, counselors, principals, and even to drill down to teachers at times.
So I'm sorry, but this is interesting to me because I've been involved in some of those where you go out and do things for the different school programs and you talk about construction. But does someone make a phone call to the school district, or is it oftentimes a mentor's contacts with the school district, and then you find out who the principal is or who? So
the great thing about our industry, Kevin, is we have so many participants that are contractor clients, contractor organizations that do work for the school districts, and they make connections within the district.
Perfect. Yeah, it makes sense now.
So Cynthia Shephorn, who's been a fabulous advocate with
ISD for Oakland schools. Mm-hmm.
Has been a tremendous advocate, and what we've found is it's really important to have an advocate within the district. It's hard to navigate the districts without that, but the contractors that have dedicated their time and involvement and participated in ACE have made those introductions and connections to an advocate within the district, and then from there we can drill down to counselors, students, principals, and more specific.
And I guess for any of our members that are out there listening and interested in this and think it would be great for their school district, be it Novi or whomever, I guess you're already in Novi, but or in my case, South Lyon, call these guys, call Vince, call Jeff. They can help you navigate it, or they can assist you in navigating it. Maybe we can get this program going in your neck of the woods too.
And also Googling ACE Mentor, Southeast Michigan. It's going to come up to our website, mm-hmm. and then they can reach out by way of that. There's contact information there.
Perfect.
But when we take a look at our board activities, one of the important responsibilities is outreach. And as Jeff indicated, we have a member, Cynthia, who is now just recently retired from the Oakland Intermediate School District. Got her on the board, a fierce advocate for the program, gets the word out. And that's when we structure our board. We do look at members that can serve the various aspects that are required to support ACE. And that's student recruitment, the mentoring, that's a component. Also, whether it be fundraising, social media, that all these things help guide our program.
So if a student wanted to, or if students want to get involved, they go to the website, or they Is that basically how you get the students?
Yep, that's a great spot to sign up and to register. We'd encourage students to talk to their counselors. We'd encourage them to reach out to our program coordinator, Jasmine Sisson. She's spent a lot of hours and time talking to prospective students who are interested in just the function of the program. All that contact information is available on the website. Easiest way to get there, as Vince mentioned, is Google ACE Mentor Southeast Michigan. And there's a wealth of resources on there about how to enroll, how to get involved, and some of the benefits that come with that.
Perfect. So, you mentioned something earlier that a lot of 28% of these students end up matriculating on to college, which is fantastic. I understand there's another aspect to this program that we haven't talked about, and that is that if some of these students actually get scholarships from ACE Mentor to allow them to pursue a career in construction, engineering, or architecture. Is that correct?
Yeah, so on a national level, they give out approximately $2.5 million of scholarships a year.
Wow.
That's nationally. So our students, once they've been involved in the program for 2 years, they become eligible for that scholarship pool. But our Southeast Michigan affiliate, we have made scholarships a priority. And over the last, say, 3-4 years, we have grown from $5,000 a year in scholarships to $15,000 a year to our 2022-2023 budget is set at $25,000.
Wow. So what do those go out, like $1,000 increments or just depends? Or
it does depend a bit. We will tier it. There will be a first place, second place, third place, but it can extend beyond. But what we see in the power of these scholarships is we are also attracting other industry partners. So, for instance, the Building Enclosure Council, has empowered ACE Mentor to issue their $1,500 scholarship to a student.
That's a call to associations out there. I love it. That's and other groups, other industry groups. Fantastic. How about some of the big owners? They should be kicking a few bucks too, like Ford, GM, Chrysler,
Well, this is a program
FCA.
Stellantis.
Sorry. Yeah, Stellantis. Yeah.
Well, and I will also say, we appreciate your support through our banquet, and you have always been there as a supporter of the program. So thank you for that. We also see our affiliation with colleges and universities.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't give a little love to Lawrence Tech. They've been a fabulous partner, LTU. They've been a fabulous partner, dedicating space, resources, computers, licensing for software. Just a fabulous industry partner. It's really dedicated to that. So if there's any CAM member parents out there who have children considering Lawrence Tech, I hope your ears perk up now because there's tremendous scholarship opportunities. The other nice thing that they're doing is they're working on matching some of those scholarships. So they'll actually match scholarships internally, and so that really increases the horsepower of that. That's been a historical partnership. We're also starting conversations. We've opened up a door for a similar track with UDM, Detroit Mercy. So another fabulous local college that's supported the program.
Big in architecture too, right?
Big in the architecture side, is devoted to, they have volunteers that are participating. They've committed some mentors from within their organization, and they're working on developing some scholarships too. So 2 fabulous local universities that we're really lucky to partner with.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so not only is the program introducing students to the wonderful world of construction and architecture and engineering, but we're also, I use this word a lot, matriculating them back into the business. So if they're interested, we can get them going to school for that, and then we can obviously help solve our own labor shortage by encouraging kids to get involved and learn the trades.
So the power of being part of a national organization comes through, say, the surveys that they conduct with the students. And that survey indicates that over 85% of the students become committed to their interest in continuing their education in architecture, construction, and engineering. So it's really eye-opening for them because, for so many people, what do I want to do?
Yeah, sure.
And this gives them that exposure that gives them the confidence to say follow their education and then hopefully to a career in our industry.
That's
so it's
awesome.
very effective.
Tim, you have any questions you have for the guys?
Yeah, yeah. So
Make it pithy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding.
having read about the ACE mentorship program myself, something that stood out to me was that there's about 4,000 industry professionals who actually volunteer as mentors annually. And to me, this seems unique, and I think it says that there's got to be a lot of passion involved with this program and how it functions fundamentally. Would you say that's the case?
Yeah, I think there is passion, and I think a lot of that to me, look, I'm not swinging a hammer. I'm not an estimator, right? I support the construction industry, and so coming at it as a partner of the construction industry from outside, the construction industry has I think an undeserved reputation, and the beauty of it is there's such a diversity of career paths. There's needs for accountancy within construction. There's needs for technical estimating. There's needs for people that want to work outside. There's needs for people that want to work inside.
Sales and marketing.
Sales and marketing. It's an awesome industry with infinite possibilities. And I think the people that volunteer their time know that. Once they're involved in the industry for, whether they're a couple years in and fresh out of college and looking to mentor, or whether they're at the back half of their career and looking to give back, I think these people see that there's really a need to change the perception of this industry. And I think that drives a lot of the passion and a lot of the willingness to volunteer that we see out there. And these mentors are just, they work tirelessly, but they do it, and it's a labor of love. And it's so rewarding for them on the back half of this to see the connections they develop with kids afterwards. And whether they're hiring that kid in 3, 4, 5 years, or whether that kid just uses them as a reference or a sounding board, it's easy to replicate that passion once somebody's been involved, because there's a tremendous emotional payoff for that.
And it's also, too, that I have never seen a program where you can see the benefits of your efforts. So we see mentors coming back year after year, but their work, they can see these students transform. One of our senior mentors talked about the fact that it's only after a month or two you start to hear them use our language, and they're getting it. So the program itself, say that 16 to 18 weeks, at the end of it, the students do a presentation, of their project. And it's very humbling to hear how well these students present, their use of the the PowerPoints and the different technologies. But at the end of that program, these mentors all get to experience and see what the students have learned, mm-hmm. and that generates a lot of passion. That's for me. That's why I've been involved in the program for over 17 years.
I think that's probably why our industry keeps coming back, because it's got to be very fulfilling and very rewarding for the two of you, and certainly for the mentors that see the development in the students, and the students are really enjoying it too, obviously, or they wouldn't be participating. That's pretty awesome. Mm. So hey guys, I know we're getting a little short on time, but I want to ask you a couple of more questions. What would you say the top 10 reasons to become a sponsor of this program would be? Or just give me a few of the top reasons to become a sponsor. And I guess a sponsor would be like a guy like me who would maybe, donate some money to the program or what have you. You've got to. I'm sure there's some. What would your reasoning be on the rewarding and fulfillment for a guy like, or an organization like CAM?
Yeah. Sure. Look, the top benefit to me is the connections that you build. You build connections with kids. You build connections with industry partners. It's a great way to support the workforce on all fronts. So we can support the architecture side, the construction side, the engineering side. There's ways to support financially. You're building a base for the future of our industry. There's ways to support kids. How can you not get passionate about that on any front? And there's ways to support your fellow partners in this industry. CAM members stand to benefit from this. Other construction associations stand to benefit from this. So it serves all fronts. It serves the present. It serves the future. And it serves the personal side, the emotional connection of it.
Yeah, and we see mentors and firms that help sponsor. They get access to these students. Mm-hmm. ACE Mentor runs a tremendous summer intern program called the Summer Experience. so it can create that 12-week interview. And you have students that are taking the initiative to participate in a program like this. There is a good chance that they're going to be a high,
Sure,
potential
with the
success.
support of their parents, obviously, because you involved them early on. So, fantastic.
Yeah, and for sponsorships, we provide excellent exposure, and who doesn't want to be associated with a winner?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a great program.
That's a good point. So, guys, number one, I really appreciate you taking time out to explain about the ACE Mentor Program. It's a fantastic first-class program, national recognition. I'm sure it's received some recognition here in southeastern Michigan. And I would just like to encourage any CAM member that's hearing this and interested in it that they reach out to ACE Mentor to find out more about it. And again, that website is
ACE Mentor Southeast Michigan. If you search for that, that'll take you there. From there, there's tabs for volunteers, for people looking to volunteer time or resources. There's tabs for mentors, people looking to get involved that way. And there's, of course, a donate button that we'd always appreciate some support.
push that
there.
one.
And also, too, there's going to be some letters going out to the industry asking for support, so we can bolster this $25,000 scholarship. Right now, these scholarships are first year. We know the importance of providing scholarships for that second, third, fourth year. So we want to go ahead and build up that program. So I have to tell you, if you receive a letter asking for your support, you should consider yourself honored that someone considers you a leader in the industry and someone that wants to help support our industry. So we'd ask for your thoughtful
guys,
consideration.
we'd be more than willing to help you, push that information out through the CAM e-news and to our membership as well. So, use us as a resource, and I know you have in the past, but I encourage you to continue to do that. So one of the things I like to do when I end all the programs is I always like to ask the guests if they have any words of wisdom for the construction industry. So I hate to put you on the spot, but Vince, any closing words of wisdom or final thoughts that you'd like to share with our listeners?
No, I think it's a little bit daunting that over the years we've heard about the workforce shortage, and we're experiencing it now. The bottom line is you're going to change this one person at a time. So programs like ACE Mentor or other workforce development programs, please get involved, get the word out. And, we will support our industry and make sure that we have a workforce for the future. And we're going to do it one person at a time. So, don't be overwhelmed by the enormity of the challenge, but, we can meet it.
Well said. You got to give back to get back. Jeff, any words of wisdom?
Look,
any tips on his surety bonding or anything?
For a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of this industry, and one of the reasons we're passionate about the program, is there's in today's day and age where something tangible keeps getting eroded. Right? Everything's on an app or a portal. The construction industry still leads to something tangible that you can see and touch and say, I was part of that. And my kids are getting old enough now where they realize I just push a lot of paper for a living. But, they were more impressed as youngsters when they would say, I bonded that project or I insured that project. And they, as far as they were concerned, Dad was responsible for that building or that road. Something tangible that you can have is an awesome, fulfilling career. And that's one of the reasons we're passionate about supporting it. It's one of the reasons we think that there's a great upside to this industry. It's one of the reasons we love what CAM does, and we think ACE fills that mission on the youthful end of it just the same way.
Well, terrific. Vince, Jeff, on behalf of all of us at CAM, myself and our producer, Tim Andrews, thank you for being our guest today on CAM's Building Michigan podcast, and good luck to you guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you for listening to Building Michigan, the official podcast of the Construction Association of Michigan, hosted by Kevin Koehler, CAM President. We appreciate you spending a part of your day with us. If you have a second, please share our podcast with industry colleagues, leave us a review, and connect with us at www.buildwithcam.com. That's all for now. Be sure to subscribe to Building Michigan wherever you get your podcasts, and join us for the next episode.
Today's episode of CAM's Building Michigan podcast is sponsored by Priority Health, endorsed health insurance carrier for CAM members.
So right now, we've all been feeling lots of shifts in our lives. We've gone from crazy busy schedules to way more time with our loved ones, from commuting to the office to working from our couches. And that's okay, because Priority Health is always ready to shift right there with you. So whether you're experiencing a shift in employment or you're prepping for a new member of the family to arrive, Priority Health has you covered. Priorities shift, so maybe it's time your health insurance company did too. Find your plan at PriorityHealth.com.
It's that time of year. Time to review your workers' compensation plan and shift to coverage that pays you back. CamComp, part of the Construction Association of Michigan, is the state's leading self-insured group designed for the construction industry. The safer your employees, the more money you get back. The average payback to members is 45% of their premium, a very smart investment. Find out how safety pays with CamComp. Call Juan Ramirez at 586-790-7810 or go to www.camcomp.net.
The Construction Association of Michigan, CAM, has been helping commercial and industrial contractors and suppliers grow since 1885. They provide contractors leadership through aggressive lobbying, construction project reporting, safety and education training, industry promotion, insurance, and banking. Are you an owner, developer, or buyer of construction services? Hire a CAM member to get your project done on time and under budget. They are one industry, one resource, one CAM. Check them out at buildwithcam.com.